Hello and welcome. You're with IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live conversation web TV portal. Well, today we're going to have a conversation on smartphones in the market. When I say smartphone, I'm sure all of you think of the Samsung Galaxy S5 or the iPhone 5S or the HTC One or the Sony Xperia Z2. Well, not all of us can really afford these phones, isn't it? They burn a huge hole in your pocket. Thank goodness we do have some smartphones which are in a price range that is affordable to many more people. So we are going to talk about those smartphones in this conversation. And joining me in this conversation in the studio, I have Abhishek Bhatnagar. Abhishek Bhatnagar is the founder of Gadgets to Use, that's a portal, and he is very well traveled. He travels all over the world whenever there's new technology, new gadgets, so he will be giving us a lot of insights. And of course I also have Gaurav Mishra. Gaurav Mishra is a tech expert and he will be giving us his valuable inputs too. So a lot of information about smartphones that are available in the market that, you know, ordinary people can use without really burning a hole in the pocket. The conversation, of course, I would invite all of you to join in with your comments, your queries, with your audio comments, video comments and your posts on www.indiapostlive.com. You can also tweet us at our handles @IndiaPostLive and #IndiaPostLive. Also, I have with me another tech geek joining us online. She is Riya Bhatia and she's joining us from New Delhi. Riya, welcome to the conversation. All right. So first, Abhishek, let me ask you. You know, these phones that I just talked about, the HTC One and the Xperia Z2. You know, it is a deterrent. The prices are a deterrent for many of us to buy these phones, isn't it? So let's take a look, Gaurav, you too, on the screen. We'll take a look at some of the smartphones that are available, which are of a lesser price range. If you could also give your inputs on these phones, all right? So first, let's take a look at the Moto E. All right, now that's what it looks like. The operating system is an Android. You have a 5 megapixel camera and you have a 1980 mAh battery, and the cost is just 7,000 rupees. All right, Abhishek, any more inputs you have into this phone?
So apart from these things which you have mentioned, this device also have the biggest display offered at this particular price point with a good resolution as well. So it is a 4.3-inch IPS LCD display.
Okay.
And you have a QHD resolution on this display. I have the device with me.
All right. Oh, you have the phone. All right. Yeah. So if we could just take a look at the phone. We are looking, of course, we were looking at the graphic, but now we have the phone as well. Can we take a look at the phone on your screens?
So again, as you can see, this device has a pretty good display, which will again give you pretty good viewing angles as well. And the color protection of the display is good as well. So at this price point, you can actually get a very good phone like this, which is quite commendable from Motorola.
Right. Gaurav, what are your inputs on this phone?
Well, a nice phone in the budget, that's for sure. You know, the problem with the budget phones that there were the UI was very sluggish. It was not you know, easy for people to use the phone, you know, as they are looking at the iPhone 5 when you're comparing to the other phones, the other better smartphones. So good IPS display, you know, good memory. This it boasts 1 GB you know, RAM, which is a pretty good, you know, system, and 1.2 quad core. 1.2 gigahertz quad core.
Not the quad core, a dual core.
A dual core, okay. A dual core processor.
Dual core processor, okay.
Yeah, so which allows you to really play good games, you know, heavy games on the system.
Really?
With good memory.
What doesn't it have? What doesn't it have? I'm sure it doesn't have a lot of smart apps, right?
It does allow you to run almost any application you can think of.
Achha, okay.
So the kind of hardware it has, you can run any application which you can run on the high-end smartphones like S5 or Z2.
Wow,
so which is good.
That's really good news.
One thing which is not so good about this device is that it has a 5 megapixel camera, which is still higher at this price point. You can get, but it is a fixed focus camera, and the quality from that camera in terms of pictures and videos is kind of average. It is not too great.
All right.
So again, that is the only I would say.
But you can take a picture from this phone and upload it on your Facebook?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
So for ordinary people like us, you know, who probably want to have a separate camera and a separate phone, probably they can use it to, you know,
so
just click.
It is a decent camera still, after saying all this. Decent camera for long shots, not at all good for the close-up shots. But you can take good photos and upload it to Facebook or Twitter, whatever you want to do.
It's as good as, you know, when you were buying a 20,000, 25,000 rupee phone 2 years, 3 years back. It's as good as that.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next. We'll do a comparative also, but let's move on to the next, which is a Nokia X. Let's take a look at that phone also. All right, on your screen you can see the Nokia X phone that has a 3.15 MP camera. The operating system, of course, again is an Android, and the battery is a Li-ion 1500 mAh. Did I pronounce that right?
It's a lithium-ion battery.
Okay, that's a lithium-ion battery. Forgive me, I'm technologically challenged. Okay, and the approximate cost is 8,000. All right, so that is the Nokia E. And Abhishek, do you have that phone for us as well?
Yeah, I have that one as well. So
I think this
have the Nokia
phone
X
quite nice.
So this one is again a pretty good phone. You can buy for approximately 7,300, which is the best buy price. And this phone is also good. Comparing this phone with the Moto E as of now, this phone has a slightly lesser camera. So it is
that one had a 5 megapixel and this is a 3.15, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of a difference are we looking at in terms of output?
It is not a major difference in between the photo clarity. It is almost the same.
Okay.
Not a major difference you will notice on the camera front.
Okay.
But the difference which you will notice on this phone as compared to the Moto E which we have with us. So this phone is running on the latest version of Android, which is Android 4.4 KitKat. Whereas this one is not. It is still a fogged Android, which is actually not the actual Android which you get on Android phones. So it is a different kind of
Android.
Fogged Android.
Fogged. Okay.
F-O-R-K, fog.
Fog Android. Okay. Okay.
So it is a kind of a Android which is little bit different. You don't get the Google apps on this phone.
Achha.
Like Google Maps and Gmail, you won't get to use those applications.
Then why is it costing 1,000 rupees more?
Maybe we should ask Nokia.
So that's a marketing question.
Okay.
Definitely. And see, the way Nokia does, it's already bought by Microsoft. So right now what you're seeing as a UI, the interface, with the interface that you're liking is actually a Metro UI, which Microsoft developed on their own. And earlier, they were really not going into the Android place at all. But now they don't have a choice. So they are looking at Android OS, but they are modifying the Android OS to work with their own UI system, to work with their own application store, which they have developed, which was earlier onto Nokia on a different platform.
Okay, if we do a quick comparative between Motorola and Nokia, Motorola was being used in the market in a big way a few years back, and then they kind of phased out, and now it seems that they're coming back.
Yeah, they're making a
and they have been bought over by
Lenovo right now.
Yeah.
They were previously bought by Google. Now it is under Lenovo, but the transition is not completely over.
All right.
So
do you think that first Google bought it, now the Lenovo is, so why did Google let go of it anyway?
I don't know. Google is a services company, so they always focus on services less on products.
Okay.
So Motorola altogether, what they have retained with them is all the patents and all, which are more relevant to them going further down the line. So maybe that could be the reason they have not kept Motorola with them and sold it to Lenovo.
So do you think Lenovo picking up the product, do you think that will help Motorola come back into the market in a big way?
I would rather suggest Lenovo to not interfere what Motorola is doing right now, because they're actually doing things right. They are making a very good comeback. The kind of design they have with the devices, the kind of build quality they have, and the kind of pricing they are providing these devices to the Indian market.
Right.
It is actually a very good thing which they are doing as of now. I don't know how Lenovo will handle this.
Right.
But I really doubt what will happen if Lenovo gets the old.
But before I get Ria Bhatia into the conversation, I would like Ria to also take a look at the comparatives that we're doing and then give us her feedback. Let's talk of the Sony Xperia E1 Dual. We have been the television has been flooded with the Xperia Z2, the underwater camera and all of that. And I'm sure that how much does that one cost?
That one will cost you approximately more than 45,000 rupees.
More than 45,000. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the E1 Dual. That again has a 3.15 megapixel camera, Android operating system, and a lithium-ion battery. I got that right, I hope. 1750 mAh. Okay, again the cost is 7,500. So all three phones that we've just looked into, they cost less than 8,000, right?
Right.
All right, so 7,000, 7,999 and 7,500. All right, what other inputs can you give us on this phone?
So I have this phone as well, and we have the Xperia E1 Dual, which is this one.
All right.
This phone is pretty good. Again, if you talk about branding or if you are brand loyal, then this is one of the good phone you can buy from Sony. But as of now, if I compare this phone with Moto E, this is again lagging behind.
Why?
In the RAM department, it is half the RAM. You have 1 GB of RAM on Moto E. You have latest version of Android on Moto E, whereas you have Android 4.2 Jelly Bean again on this device.
Okay.
And the camera is again less. It is again a fixed focus camera, just like the Moto E. It is 3 megapixel, but again the picture quality will remain the same.
All right.
So again, there are various departments in which this phone is lagging behind with the Motorola E if you compare it.
All right. Let me get. Can I get Ria Bhatia?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Ria. Okay, if you can hear me, you just saw us, talking about the three phones. What is your feedback? What have you got from your friends, and what is your own feedback about the three? Because both Abhishek and Gaurav seem to be saying that Motorola E is where one should be headed.
I have a question for them.
Absolutely, please.
Nokia in 2011 announced that they'll be using Windows in the phones and not Android. But now what we see is in our phones we have Android in our hands, in the Nokia phone. But still, these Android Nokia phones look more like a Windows phone. Why is that?
Because of the Metro UI. So the Windows phone earlier, which was being developed by the Microsoft, they have a patented UI interface. When I say UI, it's a user interface design that they have came across. So on which, if you're seeing Windows, the new versions coming in the Vista and the newer ones, you'll be seeing Metro UIs all across the things. Right, the same UIs what you are seeing on the phones that you are seeing in the Nokia. So earlier they were going on the Windows platform as a OS with a Metro UI, and now they are going with the Metro UI plus Android. And one of the main reasons was that Windows App Store was not just picking up. There were not enough developers who was creating applications for Windows specifically. So they have no choice but to move to the Android.
But won't the phone suffer a great disadvantage because the Android phone looks more like a Windows phone? Won't it suffer a disadvantage because of that?
But I think that what they are looking at from a marketing angle is a USP, not as a disadvantage, because of a differentiator that they have in terms of the UI and the user experience. Because if people who are really not really want to having the same interface like everyone has in the market as their friends, would rather want to go into a Nokia phone with Android platform. So that's a unique advantage that we have.
Do any of these phones have dual SIM?
All of these three are dual SIM.
They're all dual SIM.
Yeah.
And when you talk of internal space, the RAM?
The internal storage is again the same. You have 4 GB on Nokia X, you have 4 GB on Moto E, and 4 GB is there on Xperia E1 Dual as well.
Okay, so that way the three are similar.
Yeah.
All right, Ria, which phone would you buy? Given what you just heard on this conversation.
The selfie culture that's going on, I don't think will allow me to buy any of these phones because of the front camera being missing in these phones.
Right.
So I feel that's the biggest disadvantage of these phones. Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, all right. Another phone that is being introduced in the market is the Micromax Unite 2, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
So Micromax Unite 2 is the latest competitor to Moto E, and in terms of hardware specs, it is closer and very much you can say better in terms of comparison, even if you compare these two with Moto E, because that one has pretty good hardware specification. It is announced yesterday only, so it is already in the market. You can go and buy it.
How much does it cost?
6,999. Same.
Oh,
so
right.
the cost of Unite 2 is same as the cost of Moto E.
Okay.
Now there are two things. Moto E is only selling online. That means, especially for people who are living in remote areas.
I wanted to talk to you about that. You know, the e-commerce angle, Moto E only selling online. I mean, how is it really working for them? So for people living in the rural areas.
So they have a difficulty. Sometimes Flipkart may not be able to deliver in that area. In that case, you won't be able to order the phone.
Motorola, in fact, is doing it as a policy, right?
Yeah. Huh. So as of now, they are making the phone available through Flipkart only because they have to cut the margin down, which is actually being taken in case of Micromax or any other who is providing their phones through retailers or distributors. So Micromax this time has an advantage because they will be able to sell the Unite 2 in remote areas where Flipkart is not reachable, and people will go and buy the same cost phone from any shop where they would like to buy it.
Gaurav, let me ask you, you know, if one were to buy this phone online, what about the servicing and maintenance and all of that? I mean, how does that really work?
Usually you have service centers, you know, which are there. I mean, and for even Motorola has, which are from the Lenovo, you know, service centers where they're working.
Okay.
Micromax have their own service centers across the India. Don't think so that, you know, there is a disadvantage of having this online strategy just for the, you know, in terms of the service center. The online strategy is more of a, you know, a distribution talk or distribution decision that they have taken. So, you know, right now the retail distribution is largely, you know, if you have to go into retail distribution, you have to create a retail distribution all over India. So earlier Motorola had their own, you know, system. They were their own company. Then they were bought over the Google.
Right.
Google were just not, you know,
it didn't work out.
Yeah, didn't work out, or they were not really caring about the Motorola as a brand at all. They had their own brand. They had their own, you know, service line of business. They were not really looking to go into a hardware business via Motorola. The only reason that they bought Motorola was because of the patents, which
Abhishek talked about.
Yeah, which they, you know, they wanted to retain because of the Android versus the iPhone, the iOS war that is always there. Right. For which now Google got the patents. Now the Motorola is just a company which is lying down there and just not doing anything.
But with this, it will pick up, right? You think?
Yeah. So now with Lenovo coming in, now since Lenovo is already into the hardware business, they already have a you know, complete channel distribution and everything. Now Lenovo doesn't have a channel distribution network in the remote areas, in the tier 2, tier 3 areas.
Right.
So the tier 2, tier 3 areas, because they are largely into the laptop and you know, such kind of a businesses. So that's where, you know, this online strategy is working very fine for them, because now they're saying, okay, we are online, exclusive online, with the, you know, they don't have to worry about
they are targeting the urban youth who are not really willing to spend that much, 40,000 plus, but they are catering to that particular market, right?
Exactly.
All right. Ria, any final comments from you? Any final question from you before we wrap up this conversation?
I would just say that companies should not compromise on the sound, the audio and the video qualities of the phone when selling the reasonable price smartphones.
Yes.
Everything is fine, but compromising on video and audio qualities, that is why we buy the phone, is a very big disadvantage.
All right. So Ria's concern is audio quality. I'm sure she's somebody who's constantly on YouTube when she's traveling by metro or probably listening to songs. Yeah. Okay, she's nodding her head there. All right. So she's of course representing the youth of the urban milieu.
As Ria said, that selfie is this big craze, and you know, Micromax is coming from one of the selfie phones already. Gionee has launched selfie phones, 2 selfie phones, E-Life and the E7. And I think E7 Mini also, which is so these are the selfie phones out in the market, which
lots of options once again, lots of options again in an affordable range there. So Ria, make your choice very carefully, and all of you, the conversation of course will continue through your tweets, through your posts, through your audio and video comments on www.indiapostlive.com, #IndiaPostLive and @IndiaPostLive. Well, that's all we have to wrap up the conversation here. But Gaurav and Abhishek, thank you so much for coming in and giving us your inputs on these phones. I'm still undecided about which phone I want to buy, but if you have made up your mind, please write to me about it, which will help me also, a severely technologically challenged person, take a decision. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you. The conversation continues. Thanks for watching.